Okay, so here's a very popular and juicy question. What was it that the apostles, the first followers of Jesus, actually taught and preached on the regular in their churches? Those first followers of Jesus. And has it been changed? Has it been corrupted and altered over the centuries? Who knows? Well, a man who does know is called Irenaeus. Irenaeus was a bishop who was in the 2nd century, in the 100s. The man who taught him was a man called Polycarp, and the man who taught Polycarp was John the Apostle, right? So here's Irenaeus, who is just one step away from knowing those apostles who were the first followers of Jesus. And he wrote a book called The Demonstration of the Apostolic Preaching. So he is putting down in a system for us exactly what the apostles taught. But we didn't have a copy. And so nobody knew. We could only scratch our heads and wonder. And then in December 1904, an archimandrite called Carapet, who is like a bishop, basically, a sort of abbot sort of character. He was in Armenia and he found a copy in an old library of Irenaeus's work on the apostolic preaching. So everyone was just losing their rag, going mad, like couldn't wait to get their teeth into this. And when you open it on page 1, it says, here's a summary of the truth. It's not an argument, it's not a polemic, it's just a system, just going, here's what the apostles taught. This is it. This is the faith as it is. And so everyone's very excited to open it and get into it and get our teeth into it. Finally, we get to know with purity what the message was before there were changes, before there were corruptions and whatever. And you get in, you're really disappointed because you find out it's basically exactly the same. It's wonderful to read. He says, God is Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. They created the universe. We fell into sin. But Abraham to bless the world, and Moses and the law, all pointing to Christ. The prophets foretold his birth, his death, his resurrection, his rising from the grave, and his ascending into heaven to give the Holy Spirit so the nations might be saved by simply putting their faith and their trust in Jesus. And it's just you read it and you're like, well, this is really boring. I already knew all this. And it's wonderful because it means that the question, what did they really teach, and has it changed, and has it been corrupted? The answer is basically, you show up in any sort of good Christian church on Sunday, and you'll hear what the apostles were teaching 2,000 years ago. I find that really exciting, that it hasn't changed. And here's the evidence. Good old Irenaeus. Thank you, Archimandrite Carapet, for finding that book in that library. God bless.